folks. It's the last webinar of the year. I hope that you're doing well this afternoon and getting ready for the holidays as we all are. It's amazing how quickly the end of the year gets here, all the holidays get here, and boy, here we are. So, but welcome. We look forward to having this great time with you this afternoon. So I'm actually going to be joined with Adam Phillips. I'm going to bring him on here in just a moment, and I will. We'll get started with the looking in the year of review for what we've covered in our webinars this last year. We actually enjoy doing this part of our webinars because it gives us an opportunity to kind of see what did we talk about this last year, what information did we bring out, what can we do better going into next year. So what we're going to do, we're going to highlight some of the webinars that we've covered. This is not all of them, so we're not going to go through all 50 plus webinars that we've done so far this year. But we're going to hit a few of the highlights. I think you'll enjoy this. And if you've got your phones out, it's going to be kind of interactive today. So if you'd like to, we've got some QR codes that are listed on the slide deck that you'll be able to see here. And you can just have it go right to that particular YouTube video, YouTube webinar that we've done here, and you can just go, pause it and watch it for later. So looks like we've got a great crowd here this afternoon. But again, today is American Business Systems year end review of all of our webinars, and what are we looking forward to 2025? And like I said, I've got Adam Phillips on with me here. He's our CEO, and he's going to kind of help us do that. All right, so this is what I need everybody to do. Go find your Q&A box there. Just let us know that you can hear us. Obviously, sometimes I just ask you to put in the state and the city where you're hearing us from this afternoon. It kind of just gives us a feel for who's all out there and some of the folks that we've talked to, maybe even in the past. And I always got to see the new faces and the new folks that we get to have on here. So I see Fidel, I think you were on last week, so thanks for joining us again here. Hudson, you're on, and Kavita. Let's see, we got Asha, Ambier. Looks like that's maybe a company name. Vladimir, good to see you. So folks, type in just where you're from, the city, state where you are there. If please just help us out so we can, number one, know that we're being heard here. So if you don't mind doing that for us. All right. Again, my name's Eric Auger. I'll be kind of hosting this afternoon. Finally got somebody there. Thank you, Hudson from Boston. Thank you. Appreciate you doing that. I'll be kind of leading out in the webinar today, but like I said, I'll be joined here with Adam here in just a few minutes. It's amazing how quickly time is flying by, folks. We're closing out on our 30th year of American Business Systems. We'll start year 31. The day that 2 weeks from today, obviously we know next week is Christmas. The following Wednesday after that is New Year's Day. We will not be having a webinar next Wednesday, but we will on January the 1st. So be sure to be here with us, and we'll make sure that you get all the notices out there. Like I said, Adam Phillips is our CEO. He has written several information for us here to where we can you can get books like the 9 Ways that Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. He's co-wrote that with Dr. Vicki Rackner, and he has written other articles. One that we did actually an interview on this last year. I'm going to highlight that interview so you can go back and listen to that one. But he wrote an article in the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine about artificial intelligence. Now, we love artificial intelligence. We use it to help us with a lot of stuff here around American Business Systems, and we're starting to see more and more doctors are using this. I think it's going to help us have better billing coding going forward. But will it take over your job as a medical biller? No. You're going to have the human interaction there, and he goes through that. He's also the founder of an organization called MERMA. That's the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It is this organization that has a board of directors. Dr. Vicki Rackner is on that board as our medical director there. And it is this group here that will certify you once you've completed our training course to become a certified medical revenue manager. In that MERMA website, you can go to it now and you can kind of see all about it. But this is the organization that you'll be a part of once you've completed all of that training there, and then you'll be able to share that logo with other folks and show your credentials and everything else that goes along with it. So, all right, folks, it's time to bring Adam on. Adam, good end of 2024, if you can imagine that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Eric. It's good to be here on the last webinar of the year. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
So Adam and I kind of work all of our topics out through the early parts of the month, and we try to pace ourselves and make sure that we get every topic that we can imagine out to you. And Adam and I were on here just a moment ago looking through some of the things that we've done, and we're kind of amazed of the information that we do get out to you guys on a weekly basis. So Adam, we're going to start looking at just a few of the webinar topics that we went over last year. I kind of looked at starting back at the early part of the year, and I kind of categorize these into categories. This first section, we're going to talk about business topics and things that we just talk about generally. And you can expand on these as we go through those. And then we're going to look at interviews, and then we're going to talk about maybe what's in the future. So, Adam, the first one that we I think this was the first one we did at the first part of the year, and it's learn more about the ABS medical billing franchise. And again, folks, there's the QR code. If you want to go grab that real quickly, you can. But Adam, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about who we are. Are we a franchise? Are we not a franchise? What is ABS, and what all do we do here?
Yeah, so this webinar was kind of a general overview of what's included and what you get for your money kind of thing. And, we use the term franchise kind of loosely because it's similar with some key differences. But, people understand, typically they hear the word franchise, they're like, oh, okay, it's, they're going to give me software and training and whatever. So people understand that model. And so that's what we're trying to convey with some of the webinars that we do is you get the benefits of the pros of a franchise, which would be you get access to the highest quality technologies available in the market for some of the services that we offer, the billing service and several of the other ones. You get very high quality, highly produced marketing materials that we have spent a lot of money on that we customize for our business owners. You get your own website that we have spent a lot of money developing. So, if you look at all of the things that you get, if you were to try to do something like this on your own, which you certainly could, you don't have to go through us to start your own billing business, but you would spend probably the same amount as it cost us, as our investment is, which is 30K, the same amount or maybe even more to develop all these partnerships, relationships with different companies that we've made and all the materials and all that. So that's kind of the similarities there. The big differences are we're not a traditional franchise. And so what we do is we help you set up your own individual entity, your own company. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about this, how you really need to adjust your thinking in terms of, I'm not an employee anymore. I am a business owner. And,
Yeah.
and yes, you can do some of the work yourself if you want to, but um, our bigger producers, if you will, our owners that have a team of people doing the work, they're the ones that are making the big bucks. So you
Yes.
really need to, if you want to get to that level, if you want to get to the next level revenue wise, you need to start thinking in terms of, okay, I'm going to learn how this works, but I'm going to have other people doing the work for me as quickly as possible.
You bet.
But the other big differences are there are no territories because you're actually operating under your own entity. So you can have clients in any part of the United States. There are no restrictions. Our system is totally cloud-based, so it's very easy to have clients that are not even in your state at all. And a lot of our owners do that. And so and then the other big one is there are no royalty fees paid back to the company, us, at all. Like with a traditional franchise, you got to pay a bunch of money back to them, whether you're profitable, out of your profits.
Right.
So those are the big differences. And Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, you did a great job on that. Let's talk about real quickly about the 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 training that they're getting here with us, because I know we talked a little bit about that in here. We don't have to go too deep into that because we're going to touch with a little bit more deeper in another one. But they're getting the training here online, and that's being taught by a real individual, not just a video recorded video.
That's right. Yeah, the training is it's done online now, so you don't have to go to any certain location. But it's been, it's been going really, really well doing it online. But it is a guided training with a live instructor who's there with you throughout all of the modules, and so you have all the attention from the trainer. You can ask all the questions you want to. It's better the way that we do it now. You're able to
Sure.
get, you're able to get all the information that you need, all the answers that you need in a much more timely fashion. Like we can get you through the 10 modules that we do. We can get you through those. They're about an hour and a half a piece, roughly. So that'll take you maybe 2 or 3 weeks to finish, and then you become certified at
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, I think if I recall, whenever we do these types of webinars, and we're talking about the medical billing franchise and the business opportunity, and it's the business owners in this. And you mentioned it earlier that there's no franchise fees, there's no royalties that are coming out of that. A lot of people ask, are there anything that I need to pay for extra? Because how in the world does ABS stay in business and still be able to give me the lifetime of support? So if you can kind of answer that in general to the audience here today.
Yeah, so as far as fees paid back to us, there are none. And my father, he's the founder of the company. He's the kind of the genius that put all this together. It really is a win-win-win the way that we've got this set up. And what I mean by that is we have several different technology partners that I just mentioned. We actually have about a dozen different services that you can offer outside of just the billing service. And so we'll talk about how you can learn more about those through our research guide that we have. But it's cool because all of these partnerships we have an arrangement with them where one of our owners signs up a doctor for, let's say, the billing service, and they opt to use the billing platform that we have. When that happens, that platform was created by one of our technology partners, and so we, as a company, get a small residual fee back from the partner for you doing that. So you're making money from the doctor directly. We're making a little bit of money from the software company. And that's how you know that we are going to do whatever we can to support you and help you market and help you
Yeah,
get clients, because we have a vested interest in you signing up clients. So
I think
if you're out there not making any money, we're not making any money. So that's why
correct.
you lifetime support. Yeah.
Yeah, so jump in, well, head first with us, and we'll support you and help you and get along, and then we'll work together. Like Adam said, we've got a vested interest in you getting your first client. So don't hesitate. We'll see. We know that we can help you get there. So again, folks, if you haven't gotten your phones out and you scan that QR code, I'm sure we can get this out on PDF. So if you missed this one, you can certainly go back and get it. So. All right, so let's go to the next one here. This was interesting. This was based upon what we call our 5 secrets, what medical billing schools won't teach you. So
Yeah.
let's kind of just review a little bit of that and really what is it that medical billing schools don't teach folks whenever it comes to medical billing?
Yeah, so that webinar was done based on a small little ebook that we have created that has that same title, The 5 Medical Billing Secrets. And so for any of you who have not seen that, there's actually a little form at the bottom of our homepage. Yeah, on our website right there. There's a picture. And you can just put your name and email in, and it will send you a link to download that 5 Secrets to Medical Billing Success. And so do you have screenshots of all the pages or?
No, just these.
Okay. Yeah. So without getting into too much detail on all these, because you can go download that yourself and look at it. These are really the kind of what boils down to the five things that you really need to make sure that you're doing to set yourself apart in the industry. These are things that the average medical billing person doesn't really think about doing as far as like you can see right there, the number one thing, the number one secret is to educate, to build trust with people. And that simply means doctors, we have found, love to be educated. They hate to be sold. If
Right.
they feel like you're trying to sell them something, it's not going to work. So what we have put together is customized books. Like Eric mentioned, the book that I co-wrote. We have about 3 or 4 other books that have different topics, and you can give these books out when you become a licensee. You can give these books out to people, office managers, doctors, people that you run across, when you're out there networking, and that will immediately set you apart from everyone out there that's just got a crappy looking brochure, you know?
Right.
Um, and so that's just one of several, secrets and tricks that we teach you to stand out among the crowd, because there are a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of people. The barrier to entry into medical billing is very low, very, very low. You can take any kind of course online.
Right.
There's hundreds of different software packages. So you could just kind of do your own thing, pick your own software, try to come up with some marketing materials somehow, if you're, graphically inclined. And then, you got all that done. It's like, well, heck, how do I actually go out and, talk to people and get clients? That's where we come in. We give you the exact steps to do that because we've been doing it for 30 years. So we have a proven set of steps that we know without a shadow of a doubt that work. And so
Yes.
all you have to do is follow those steps. And it starts with these 5 secrets. So that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. And folks, this, you got to think about it. You could go to, like Adam said, you could go to school. I, I think I've lost the count, Adam, of how many people who've actually been in medical billing, who were medical billers. They've tried to go and do their own medical billing, come
Mhm.
join us because they don't know these 5 secrets. And that's what Adam's driving at here is that what they don't teach you in school, it's kind of like what they don't teach doctors in school. They don't teach doctors business, folks. And so they may be great primary cares or cardiologist or, you know, podiatrist out there, but as you've heard so often, doctors are not the best business folks, and there's a reason for that. They don't teach business to these
Mhm.
doctors, and it's the same thing whenever you go to medical billing school. If you're going to go to a medical billing school and learn how to become a certified medical biller, they're not going to teach you how to go get the business. They'll teach you how to bill, but then you've got a great education and not knowing what to do with it. What we do here, we put both of those together. So simultaneously, what we're doing, it's like the parallels of a train track here. As you're learning medical billing, you're also learning the marketing side of it as well and how to run a business through that whole thing there. So
Yep.
go check that one out there. We've touched real quickly here on training. We're not going to spend a lot of time here on training, but Adam, I believe you said that there's 10 modules that they go through. Is that correct?
Yeah, right now it's 10 modules, and the training is designed for the owners of the business, the business
Yes.
owners, and that is you. Everyone on here, if you end up joining us, you are the owner. That's important, an important distinction, because it's a lot more. This business is a lot more than just doing the work, just typing on a computer. It's a lot more than that. So we give you enough information so that you can ease into the system and look at how does the software work and all that. But the really the meat of the training is, how do I launch my business? How do I figure out where I even want to start as far as who to market to?
Right.
How do I find those leads? How do I connect with people that can put me in touch with office managers and doctors? And how do I set myself apart from a credibility standpoint? Those are the really important pieces that we teach you in that training. So yeah, so as of right now, if you guys want a sneak peek, we might could send you a training outline if you'd like to look at that. just ask the rep that invited you to this, and we can send you a training outline so you can look at what you know. This training, this initial training, I call it the initial training because this industry is kind of a lifelong learning process. It's always changing, it's always evolving. So that's why we give you, after you go through the initial training, we have a private support website that we'll talk about, and it has 24/7 access, lifetime access that you get to this private website. And it has hundreds of hours of continuing education. We have a vast e-learning library with our software partners, all kinds of ways for you to continue learning and continue developing your education and knowledge as you're out there launching and building your business and marketing and getting clients at the same time. So that's how we are different. And that's kind of what that webinar was talking about.
You bet. Which goes right to the next webinar that I wanted to share. Now, again, folks, you can use that QR code to go check it out and go look at it a little bit later. Because if you want the in-depth of everything we're just kind of highlighting and summarizing here real quickly, you're going to want to go back and watch these webinars. A lot of people, Adam, ask, well, I don't have a background in medicine or medical billing or anything else. Is this going to hold me back? And it's so funny that you said this is, we're going to help you launch your business. I was kind of looking ahead of the next one. And here we go. Really are going to help you launch your business. But what about this whole lack of experience in billing at all?
Yeah, we get that question a lot too. Like, how on earth am I going to get a little old me? Why would a doctor want to work with little old me?
Yeah.
Well, you have to realize we've been doing this for a long time, and you're not the first person to ask that question. Every single one of our owners has to go through the same kind of like, I guess you could call them objections that you would get from doctors as far as like not having any clients or anything like that. But
Right.
as far as the billing knowledge, I would say probably around 70%. I'm not quite sure, but if I had to guess, I'd say maybe around 70% of our new business owners came from a completely different background. Did not have medical billing training, no coding training, nothing. So we give you enough information so that you can get your feet wet and start, dipping your toe into the world of a medical billing business. And then, like I said, you are continuing to learn and educate yourself. And we have certified billers and coders on our support staff that will literally, if you need to do a call with them every day to go over billing and how it works, we will do that with you. The best practices is your goal should be to get to that signed contract. Like, that's what we want to do for you, is we want to get you a signed contract as quickly as we possibly can, using the marketing techniques that we help you out with. And then when that happens, when that contract lands, we will guide you and handhold you through the technical process of getting them all set up. One of the things that we do for you, by the way, is we handle all of the training and implementation if they use our software platform. So you don't have to do any of that. We're training the doctors, we're training the staff, because our systems have a lot of features that the front office can use, the doctors can use, and you use, and the patients as well. So everyone is interacting with the system that we have. So we're doing all that training, all that implementation. And when it gets to a go live date and it's time to start processing the claims, we will show you exactly how to do it, how to get it done, and how to, really make sure that they're done right so that doctors will see an improvement in their revenue. And that's the kind of the bottom line with this whole business is, with our systems, with our help, and with you working for the doctors, we are seeing around a 20 to 30% annual revenue increase in doctors switching to our platforms and our business owners. So it's not just like, it's not a small thing. Like, it's a really big thing for a lot of practices to use what we've got. So,
one of the things I always like to, I think I shared probably within this webinar here, is that you're not by yourself. It's not like you have a lack of billing experience. Once you've joined us here at ABS and you become partners with us and you become part of the ABS family, you now have 30 years of experience behind you. Because as Adam said, we're the ones that are helping coach you. We're helping the doctors. We're doing demonstrations for the doctors. We're helping them get set up in the software. We're working the whole process right along with you. So don't let the you don't know anything hold you back, because that's why ABS is here. Jump on our coattails and let us take you to, getting your first client there. All right. Then two more topics that I felt like they were important. Obviously, what are the best ways to market to doctors? I mean, this is probably, if I see our attendance go up in webinar attendees, it's probably these that we talk about, because everybody wants to know, how can I get my first doctor? So, Adam, I think we do a great job on the front end here on the webinars of the information that we give out on what we actually teach. But and then, it's if you could go dive in a little bit on the particular part of the training where when they're sitting with our trainer, that trainer is actually getting them involved in some homework assignments so that they're actually starting to build a marketing plan as they're going through our training.
That's right. Yeah, I think this webinar topic and the how much can I make topic, I think those are probably the biggest
Yes.
attendance. People are really curious about that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, as you're going through the modules with the trainer, at the end of every one of the modules, the trainer will, show you, all right, now you need to go into the support, go log into the support site, and there's a section for trainees. And you'll go to the certain module that you just worked on with the trainer, and it will have homework in there, and some of them have videos, and just different things on setting up your business, getting your website, some of the initial setup stuff, and then going and searching for networking events in your area, trying to figure out, okay, where's my nearest chamber of commerce? How do I sign up for that? How do I join that? How do I attend those meetings? Just starting to kind of figure out a roadmap, if you will, for getting your name out there. So that's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah, but we have about a dozen or so different marketing methods that we teach that have been working really, really, really well. Some of them we have, a lot of them we've been kind of perfecting and evolving throughout the years. And, obviously we've been doing this for so long, a lot of marketing was analog back then, back in the day, it was analog. And, I don't even know if my kids know what that word means, but, so everything obviously has gradually started to go. There's a lot more digital. We do still have, materials, flyers, and presentation folders, postcards, things that you can touch and feel. Those still do have a place in marketing in this industry. But we are moving more towards digital marketing. We've done some webinars on sales funnels and what we call sales lead magnets. Yeah, different things like that. So I was going to touch on that towards the end of this, but yeah, so again, we've been doing this for so long. We see all of these things that work, all these marketing methods that work. So we're going to keep teaching them, and so that's what we do. We have a proven set of steps, and the reason why we just release this information publicly to everyone on these webinars is because we want you to feel like, you know what, they're giving me this information, they're giving me the secret sauce here with these marketing methods. So, if you wanted to try doing it on your own, you certainly could. It's just that you wouldn't have the backing of ABS to really, tell you exactly the right way and the wrong way to approach some of these marketing methods. And they can be nuanced. There can be a right way and a wrong way to do some of these. Like, I mean, silly example, but like direct mail. We've had people that have said, well, I mailed out 100 postcards and I didn't hear back from anybody. Well, your mail out has to be a lot bigger than that to see any kind of response, So that's not a marketing method that we really teach. So that was a bad example, but just different things like that. So
yeah. Well, let's go to that next one that's high on everybody's list, is how much can I make and how quickly can I see an ROI? So Folks, remember that the investment here is $30,000. It's a one-time fee with us. There's, like I said, there's no franchise fees or no royalty fees. So once you've got that invested in yourself, then let's see what we can do to help you get that return on your investment back. And in this webinar, we really get down to the nitty-gritty on, how much are you going to charge a percentage, how many patients a doctor might see, and then we do the strict calculations out to show you that what you could project to get with your first client. And that's why we want to help you get that first client within the first year, because we're pretty solid, Adam, I think, on getting the ROI with one doctor within the first year, because most of the averages that you're gonna make on and this is great that you don't have any franchise fees or royalty fees, because what you make is your money. But you'll make anywhere from $45,000 to $65,000 with just one doctor. Adam?
That's right. You could, depending on several different factors. You'd have to have probably a specialist of some sort. If it was just a single doctor, there certainly are different types of doctors that would be, less revenue for you, but
Yeah.
like chiropractors, for example. But they're also, those types of specialties are easier clients to land.
Yeah.
So you do have to kind of weigh that as well. But yeah, in general, a single family practice client, like one family practice doctor, you'd be looking to make about 30,000 a year. So that's what we like to tell people, just as a kind of a ballpark. If you signed up one family doctor, you would see a return on your investment in about a year with one family doctor. But we have a list of specialties that work really, really well with our platforms. It's like 30 something specialties. So we'll teach you that in training. And that's another way to kind of help you focus, where to even start, and we finally got a question here. Cool. No typing anything. Oh, we got three couple
now they're coming in.
Yeah, please type in questions. We love it. So one doctor, where was I going?
We were talking about what they get on their return with one doctor, I believe.
Yeah, so basically, on average, it's about one doctor, family doctor. You'd see a return in about a year. If you sign up a chiropractor, a single chiropractor, that would take longer than a year to see a return, because they are filing a lot less, and making a percentage of what they earn. Oh, but I was talking about the 30 something specialties that work really, really well with the platforms that we have. So we'll teach you that in training, so you can figure out how to target. So yeah, I mean, at the end, when we talk about the future, I'm going to talk a little bit more about low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll leave it at that for now.
There you go. Yeah, kind of just leave that one hanging. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour, and we're about to switch over to the next little section here. Do you want to grab some of these questions before we move to the next section?
Sure. Srikanth is asking, can I pay the 30K in 3 installments in a span of 3 months? I certainly can appreciate that question, but the answer is no. We do have to get the full 30,000 paid in full upfront before you start the training. I realize that's a lot of money for some people, and so that's why you need to do as much research and due diligence and talk to some of our business owners. We have several steps that we'll talk about for doing due diligence, reading our research guide cover to cover, talking to business owners, getting a demo of our system. There's a lot of things you can do to make sure that this is going to be right for you. Even after you invest with us, if you still feel like, this is not for you, we have a refund policy that we'll talk about at the end of this. Okay. So we have an extra safety net for that. Let's see. Fidel is asking, the 30K, will that be gross or net? So that's actually a great question. Our owners typically are charging doctors a percentage for doing the billing work for them. And right now, across the nation, that the average is somewhere in the range of around 5 to 9%. That's pretty standard. And that's one thing that our team will help you do, is price yourself properly, but it's usually somewhere in that range. And you're actually making a percentage of what the doctors ultimately bring in from insurance and from patients as well, by the way. And so, as many of you on this webinar may know, doctors don't always get paid the full amount that they send into the insurance company. Like Medicare, for example, they have a list of what they pay for every procedure, and it doesn't matter what the doctor charges; they're paying that fee that they have on that list, and that's it. So there's no negotiating there.
Yep.
So I'm referring to, well, I mean, the revenue that a doctor makes, I'm actually referring to the net. That is the net on typically what, let's see, am I misunderstanding the question? 30? I'm
30,000. So the way I read it is, if you're making 30,000, let's say you gross 30,000, or you get paid from the doctor 30,000. Well, that's your gross. That's your gross
Yeah, that's right.
revenue you coming
Mhm.
in. So now, what we are not going to teach you is how to deal with your taxes and anything else or any of your expenses. Now, we'll help you. Will certainly guide you and lead you, but we're not CPAs, we're not attorneys. We can turn you on to folks like that to make sure that you've got your entity set up correctly, because you're going to want to make sure that you got your entity set up properly. But Fidel, whenever it comes to, if you send an invoice to a doctor and it totals $30,000 in the year, you're getting $30,000 from that doctor. There's no net out of that. You're getting that gross revenue. So hopefully
The,
that
the only the only big factor would be is if you hired someone else to do the billing work for you,
correct. Yeah.
you would want to factor that in. And so, that would come out of that 30K. So, ultimately you would have a different
Yeah.
net number, if that makes sense. But if you're doing all the work yourself, essentially the 30K is
Yeah.
a net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Shri is asking also, can dentists to be included in the system? And yes, we have a separate
Mhm.
platform to do dental billing. So the answer is yes on that.
Yep, that's
You want to take
correct.
you want to take one more and we'll jump back into the slides here.
Sure. Amber is asking, what resources do you have for outsourcing the work for the billing? Great question. So there are a lot of different options for you. I mean, you're running your own business. So a lot of people, honestly, they will hire friends and family members and train them how to do it because it's not rocket science. You could teach a college student straight out of college the basics of the system in a day. You could hire specialists, through classified ads and job sites and things like that. But all that being said, we actually do have a partnership with a company, Global Healthcare Resource. They have full-time employees that you can hire for very, very reasonable amount of payment. We're talking about in the neighborhood of around 1,800 a month for a full-time employee.
Wow.
Okay, so it's very, very reasonable. Yes, they are utilizing a team in the Philippines that they've built, but they have an entire university that they require them to go to and be certified. And we've been getting very, very good feedback from their work. So when you get to the point where you've got 2 or 3 clients maybe, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to have somebody else, doing this, we make it very easy when it's growth time, when it's go time, we make it very easy for you to utilize that company. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
question.
Good. We'll save Kevin. We're going to get you on the next go round, so don't go anywhere. We'll make sure we get taken care of. All right. Throughout the year, Adam, we try to get in as many business owner interviews, and I'm going to highlight 6 of those. And some of them are from business owners, some of them from our a business owner slash part of our support team. So we've got some great interviews that we've done, and we started the first of the year with Tanya Flowers.
Mhm.
Uh, I forgot how long she's been with us, but she's doing an incredible work there.
Yeah, you're going to be listing off these interviews that we've done. It's going to be real tough for me to remember when people signed up and if they had billing backgrounds. So I'm not going to be able to answer those, but that's why
Hmm.
you put those barcodes on there. So
I did,
if
yeah.
you see anybody that you think you might connect with, you can just snap that barcode and save that video for later. So, but yeah, she's been doing this for quite a while, and yeah, things are going great. But yeah, you should go listen to it yourself.
Yeah, I put this one up here because Deandra Floyd actually has connected with my daughter in doing, my daughter's got a medical billing client, and Deandra and my daughter are working together on that particular client. So that's pretty cool. That's why I put her up here, because she's actually working with my daughter on a project. But she's got, Adam, I do remember this one quite well. She did not have a background in medical billing, and just done incredibly well on getting clients. And but again, folks, we've got these QR codes up here so you can go back and listen to these. These are some of the ones that we certainly recommend. I'm going to get over to this one here because I think we can talk a lot about this guy right here, because we know him pretty well. Tim Ward. Not only is he an ABS business owner and still a business owner, he is your, I think I got that wrong there, director of support. I think he's got a different title now, but tell us about Tim and what he does for ABS.
Yeah, he's the VP of support now. So
VP of support. There we go.
very important. Yes, very important person.
Yeah.
No, we're glad to have him on the team. We have several people on the ABS team that are ABS business owners, and they have basically built their businesses to the point where they have a team of people running the billing business, and they have enough time to, I mean, really their whole mode of thinking is they really want to pay it forward. Like we were able to help them be so successful that they want to pay it forward and help other people launch their business just like they did. And so that's exactly what Tim and Robin, his wife Robin, is a part of ABS as well. She's a certified biller and coder and does a lot of that technical training and support that I mentioned. But Tim is one of those unique guys that he's really good at business development and marketing, but he also is pretty good at technical stuff too. So he knows about billing as well. And so it's just been great having him on the team. He has been working with our business owners, our new graduates, and really coming up with some awesome stuff using AI and helping people develop marketing plans and customized ebooks and all kinds of really cool stuff to just, I mean, he's just helping people blow their competition out of the water with what he's doing. So it's awesome. So yeah, he's the head of support. When you guys finish your training, we help you by setting up a call with, usually it's done with Tim, and it's a welcome to support call. So once you're done with training, we hand you over to Tim and his team, and he will do a walkthrough of the support site, show you where to go to find stuff, how to get support, and get you on your way to success. So
now I know his background, folks. He did not have a background in medical billing. Matter of fact, he was selling Fender guitars. So, and his wife used to work for a pretty large beverage company that a lot of people like to drink, non-alcoholic. I'll put it that way. So it's but these folks came from backgrounds that are just like you. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you here are coming in from different backgrounds, whether you're attorneys or CPAs, or you own your own landscaping business, or like Tim, you sold guitars or whatever. And so you're kind of going back, can ABS really support me in getting that? Now, one of the great things you'll hear on these webinars with these people, they'll tell you, you know, the ups and downs of them getting their first client. And so these folks you need to spend some time going back and listening to these interviews, because I would say, Adam, about 100% of every interview that we do, we hear that, yeah, I struggled a little bit after training, but whenever I finally went and did what ABS told me to do, I ended up getting my first client.
That's exactly what Tim says in that interview. Yeah, he basically is like, I was trying to sell guitars to doctors, and it just didn't work that way.
Exactly.
So he said, you know what? When I finally just said, all right, I'm going to stop what I think I know, and I'm going to do exactly what ABS tells me, that's when it worked. That's when it clicked.
It clicked. It does. It did.
Absolutely.
Click.
Yep.
These last couple of interviews that I'm going to highlight here, or let me go to this one here. We did this, you and I did this one actually together with this team. That these are folks that I don't even think they live in the same geographical area. Am I correct on that one?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they're boyfriend, girlfriend. I didn't confirm.
Okay.
I think yeah.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they work in the same office. I believe they do, which is one of their homes. They
okay.
Yeah, everybody, hardly anybody has office space unless they're one of our huge, business owners. But yeah, they had a great interview, and we actually went into a lot of detail on a technique that they discovered through a
Yeah.
platform called Alignable. So if anybody on here hasn't heard of that, it's kind of similar to LinkedIn, kind of a business, social networking thing. But the way that they do it, the way they structure it, and the way that they help people get and receive introductions to other people is different. It's different. And the way that it works seems to make a lot more sense to me. And so they literally have gotten a handful of clients already. They started using Alignable about a year ago, I think, and they've already gotten, I think, 4 or 5 clients from
Yeah.
specifically from that website. So that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good
Yeah, yeah.
eye
So,
opener.
folks, again, get out your phones, get that QR code. You're going to really want to listen to this one because what I saw in our internal emails and everything else that goes out that shortly after this webinar, I think Tim and you did an internal webinar education for our business owners to where we got a lot of folks out there, generating some leads out of this webinar.
Yeah, so another benefit that you get from us is we are constantly doing ongoing webinars specifically for our business owners. So we do those on Fridays. So we do some cool stuff on Fridays that you guys never get to see until you join
Right.
us. And so that's one of the things we did. This is a marketing method that's so new. We just developed a webinar and taught everybody how to actually set up their profile and how to utilize Alignable and how it works and all that good stuff. We did that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
that's one benefit is you get lifetime support from us. And one of those lifetime, support, features is we're constantly doing ongoing education on marketing methods like that.
Yeah.
New services, new products, all kinds of stuff that we're coming out with. You always get access to that stuff. You always get grandfathered into all that new stuff. And
Yes, absolutely.
we don't charge you money for that.
All right. So the last two that I want to touch on is everybody always wants to know, man, if I could just talk to a doctor. Well, we've done several interviews with Dr. Vicki Rackner. You want to talk about Vicki Rackner and who she is and kind of how your dad found her and what she's a part of here at ABS now?
Yeah, I actually don't recall how they met. I don't know if it was at a
Yeah.
networking event or do you remember?
I think if I can recall, I think your dad just reached out to her. I think he was
He
just
might have.
doing, he did so much research. And so whenever he found her and those two folks, they just connected.
Yeah.
And once they connected and he found out what she was doing, because she's actually still working with, get this, folks, she's working with financial advisors
Hmm.
that are working with doctors.
Hmm.
And so she's trying to help those financial advisors how to connect with doctors. Well, whenever Patrick and Dr. Rackner started talking, she goes, well, I can do the same thing for your business owners. Take it
Yeah.
from here.
There's a lot of crossover there as far as
Yes, much.
how to do make the connections. But yeah, Dr. Vicky is a retired surgeon. She was a surgeon for many years. Um, and they connected, man, it's been maybe a decade. It's been
Yeah.
a long time. It's crazy how fast it went by. But yeah, so she has developed, she's played a big part in several of the books that we have released that I mentioned that are written specifically to doctors because she is a doctor. She was a doctor, so she knows how they think. And so she's written these books that just basically give them information and steps to take to improve their finances, their financial situation, thinking in long term about, taxes and investments and all kinds of different things that can just help them make sure that they have money when they retire. I mean, that's kind of what it
Right.
boils
Yeah.
down to. So she's been doing that for a long time, and she has put together not only the books, but lots of different webinars and different things that we've done. But even cooler than that is she has decided to assist our business owners with some credibility building things that she does for them. So not only are you placed on some of these customized books that she has written. You're on one of these books as a not a co-author, but a an author of the foreword of the book. We customize one of these books with your name on it, and so
Mhm.
that's a huge, credibility thing. But the other thing is she will actually write a letter
Yeah.
talking about our business model and the fact that you've gone through, this training and certification, and basically signs off on, hey, this is legit. You need to give it a look. And that's a letter that is written to give to doctors and office managers. I mean, there is no other company on earth that's going to do anything remotely close to what we're doing to help you get the interest of the doctors and have them go, wait a second, this is
Yeah.
different. I haven't seen, haven't seen something like this. I'm usually just handed a crummy brochure and I put it in the trash, you know?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so yeah, so we're great. And actually, I just was emailing with her earlier today, and she's putting together a new webinar for our business owners on how to get your first client, how to
That's
position yourself
amazing.
in the market, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
You bet.
Yeah.
Again, folks, Fidel just asked the question, can you send the presentation to get the QR codes? We'll absolutely do that. So, but this is one of them you're going to want to watch. We get a chance to, I think, interview her maybe twice a year. So, folks, this is something that you're certainly going to want to grab. The last interview that I would say, Adam and I have done a few webinars together this year, and one that I think was really, really done well is it was shortly after he wrote his article for the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. Will advancements in AI put the medical billing billers out of business? So,
Mhm.
Adam, that was an incredible, article that you put together there. And then touch on that because I mean, a lot of people are thinking about this going into 2025. There's a lot of buzz about AI. There's a lot of buzz about everything, stuff that, us old fogies, at least me, um, we're talking about Bitcoins and stuff like that. I can't even get my head wrapped around that, let alone trying to figure out AI in medical billing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that AI is not going to go away at all. And it is getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. It's pretty scary, you
Yeah.
know. A year ago, we all laughed at Will Smith eating spaghetti AI. It looked hilarious. But a year later, it looks so realistic you almost can't tell that it's not real. So, but I would bet that healthcare specifically is probably one of the most complicated
Mhm.
industries with specific regard to the nuances in billing and coding and revenue cycle management. Um, that it's gonna take AI a real long time to be able to like try to do things that are, not having any humans signing off on it at all. You know what I mean? So in other words, the need for a human interaction is going to be there for a long time in this industry. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so if you want to go back and watch that webinar, that was a good one. I wrote
Yeah.
an article for Billing Coding Magazine. Essentially, you really do need to try to stay on top of AI tools. And the cool thing is, all of our software partners have already built AI tools into our billing and coding and revenue cycle software platforms. So we are already well aware of what's going on. We are adding AI tools that you can utilize, and that's really the key thing. Is like if you have some basic understanding of AI tools and how they work, and you can navigate those tools, that's going to be to your advantage. So
Sure.
so the tools that we have put in place, you're going to want to do your best to learn those and how they work and how you can really use them to your advantage because they will eventually, start helping with reduction in denials and rejections and things. But right now, it can't do it on its own. There's no way. And a lot of people are really worried about the fact that AI could be, you know, doing stuff that's just not right at all with regard to, billing and coding and treating patients and stuff like that. So So yeah, so there you go.
Yep, there you go. So folks, go grab these QR codes and can you believe, Adam, we're almost at the end and the top of the hour. So you got a little bit of time just to kind of touch on a little bit of the future, what you foresee for 2025 here at ABS and whatever else that you want to add here to it.
Yeah, let me answer these questions. So Kevin's
Sure.
asking if the practice wants to submit their own claims after signing up with me using the platform, is that an option? Kevin, yes, that is an option. That is certainly not best practices. There is a little bit of money to be made on software reselling, but you know, your whole reason for the existence of this company that we're helping you build is it's a revenue cycle management company, and so that's really your primary selling proposition is you're telling the doctors, look, we're going to do the work for you. We're going to go to bat for you. We're going to make sure that all these claims are done correctly and in a timely manner and followed up on properly and all that other stuff that they're having a real struggle doing themselves. That's the whole reason why you're offering your services to them. So hopefully that makes sense. That's really what you want to focus on, is getting that billing business. You'll make way more money by far doing
Yeah.
it that way. And then there's a question from Kavita. How long does it usually take to land a first client after training? I understand it's different for everyone, just an approximation. So you're right, it's very different for everyone. There are people that have to do this part-time because they have another job. They can't just quit right away. But a lot of people do that and they make it work. But if you're doing it part-time, obviously it's going to take you quite a bit longer. So the people that, when they get out of training and they're able to build the business full-time right out of training, they usually see a contract in 60, 90 days, maybe a little bit longer than that. That's how long it takes full-time. So part-time,
Right.
you're going to want to double that. So it
Yeah.
take you 6 months or more to get your
Yeah.
first contract. Um, Kevin says, thanks. Some practices like to get involved in the process. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Yep. Certainly know that.
All right. So
Very good.
future, we've got some great stuff planned. I mean, you want me to start going here on future?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
So we have got some really great stuff planned. I have found myself really trying to spend time understanding the needs of our owners and the needs of doctors, and what's going to benefit everybody. We have just recently launched two new partnerships with two new HIPAA compliancy partners. So we have a service called HIPAA Compliancy. Again, you can download our research guide and learn about all the services that we have and how they work, what kind of money you can make. But yeah, we've got two new partners, and one of them is a really cool software company called Abide. And so they have a HIPAA compliancy software platform that medical practices can utilize to make sure that they're certified for HIPAA. And if they were ever to get audited by Medicare, the chances of them being fined are greatly reduced because they've gone through all these certifications. That's kind of a big one for some practices. We're working on rolling out a more in-depth technical training the first of next year. And it's probably going to be a completely new certification through MIRMA, the site that I set up. MIRMA is like the certifying organization that signs off on your certification that you get when you finish our training. The CMRM certification is what we call it, Certified Medical Revenue Manager. So there's going to be a more, that's the business owner training. There's going to be a more in-depth. I mean, if you're just like, I want to learn every single in and out and every single detail possible for billing and revenue cycle management, it's going to be like a college course. It's going to be a lot of information. So we're going to let people be going through that stuff. Hopefully the Q1, Q2 of next year. I mentioned some webinars, licensee webinars. We're working on, we're always working on new marketing methods and things. So we're going to be doing that webinar with Dr. Vicky for our business owners. And then I mentioned grabbing the low-hanging fruit. So we actually have been working on a webinar we're going to be doing for our business owners on how to connect with the specialties that we consider low-hanging fruit. And I'll go ahead and just tell you what they are. Chiropractors, social workers, counselors and therapists, and physical therapy. Those are four specialties that a lot of them you will actually be able to connect at different networking events, special events. They go to those things.
Yes.
And they are big networkers, and they're easy to connect with, and they're easy to sign up. Now, they are typically smaller.
Hmm.
There's a lot of solo practitioners that are it's just a one-man show, one-woman show. So that means, it's going to be smaller volume, dollar-wise, smaller claim volume, but they are easy clients to get. For your first client to dip your toe in the water, they're perfect. They're perfect. Just so you get your first client and you understand the process. So we're going to show you how to connect with those types of specialties and get them signed up very quickly. And then the last thing I want to mention is I'm really excited about the support team and Tim Warren and how he's been really working with some of our business owners to really help them with their their self-image, their feeling of, okay, I am credible, I can do this, I can go out and talk with people. And so he's been working, like I mentioned earlier, to help people build what's called lead magnets. And what
Yep.
we're doing is helping them create custom ebooks written specifically for certain specialties that they want to go after, like chiropractors, for example. And so these ebooks that are created, not only can you give those out, as you're talking with people, but you can have a sub landing page on your website where you can direct people to go fill out a little form to get that ebook. And
Yep.
then you've captured their name and email, and now you have a new lead to work on. So that's a simplified explanation, but it's just really cool. I mean, we're doing so much hand holding for folks that's just like no other company in the world is going to be doing this much stuff for you.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. Great. Adam, if you can believe it, man, we've already gone over an hour on this one.
Yeah, good stuff.
We didn't know if we were going to be able to fill this up, but we did. Fidel's got one last question there. If you want to grab that one, and then I'll kind of close this out with some next steps and show them where to get that research guide.
Yeah, Fidel is asking with a specialty practitioner, what would be the approximate income with one? That's really tough to say because they're vastly different depending on the actual specialty that we're talking about. Um, you know, that's hard to answer that. I mean, I can tell you as far as specialties that we have a lot of. We have a lot of cardiology. We have a lot of pain management.
Podiatry.
Oh, a lot of podiatrists. Yeah, those doctors make a ton more money than I actually realized.
Yeah.
So, just I mean, if I have to just ballpark it would be closer to what Eric said earlier, which you could potentially be making, 40 to 60 grand a year on one specialist,
Right.
depending on their volume and specialty. So there's an income calculator on our website, Fidel. If you go to absystems.com, you can find an income calculator, and you can kind of play around with different numbers. Like if I had a certain number of doctors charging, and I was charging them X%, you can get to see how lucrative this could be using
Good.
calculators.
Yeah. You got it.
That's it.
Adam, we just knocked it out. The last webinar of the year.
We did it.
We did it. Folks, Adam mentioned about our 30-day money back guarantee. There is no other company in the franchise business opportunity world that does this. So, folks, this is your, you want to take a risk and try to create the lowest risk possible. This is the best that we can do, and so it's one that, now I know that we used to do it differently, Adam, when we had people come. It was a 5-day, they had to go through sitting through training for 5 days, and at the end of 5 days, they could get their money back, but we've extended to 30. Last time you and I spoke, you said nobody has yet done this. Are we still in that realm there?
No, nobody has yet done what?
Ask for their money back after they've gone through training.
Oh, that would be disingenuous. Yeah, no, we have had some people that have gone through the program, and they, for whatever reason, felt like the business model just wasn't right for them at that particular time, which is, if someone feels like they're not going to be committed to this 110%, we would rather give you your money back and part as friends,
Yeah.
because we are counting on you to go out there and crush it. We're counting on you to go
Yes.
out there and get clients so we can make some residual on the back end as well. So that's why there's that extra safety net of, yes, after you even after you invest all your money, you can basically use the training, the initial training to as your final evaluation. That's what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
yeah, we have done just a few. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Adam has talked greatly about the research guide. So here is a picture of it, some snapshots of it. You want to be able to get this. Again, all you got to do is go back to your sales rep that you're working with here at ABS and ask for it. Adam, they might as well ask for your PDF of your magazine article too. So you guys be
Sure.
sure to grab that from your sales rep. Folks, everything that we've done today is show you just highlights of what's on our YouTube channel. So we hit 12 basically. I think I did 6 of the business and 6 of the interviews. And so we just barely scratched the surface of just this year. So you can go back and check us out there on YABS. You can just go out there and go check that out there, and youtube.com/YABS, and you'll see all the latest ones that we have. This one will be up here, by tomorrow?
Yeah, I was going to tell everybody we always post these online. So whenever we get this recording posted, you can use your phone and snap those QR codes on the screen. So
You bet.
yeah.
Talk with our ABS business owners already. Some of these folks that you'll recognize one of them, Tim Warren's down at the bottom right-hand corner. He might be available for you. But there's others. We have dozens of folks that you can talk with. So get that list there. We didn't talk too much about this today, but Adam alluded to it that we help your brand new doctors, even trying to get them on board with you. We'll actually do a live demonstration for your potential doctors, but that's a little bit down the road. What you need to see is a live demonstration of the software. So get back with your sales rep here at ABS and get one scheduled here before the end of the year.
Mhm.
The purchase agreement is about 5 pages long. That refund policy on the front page there, it's 1 paragraph long. So if you want to go check that out, you just get a link for that and get that downloaded as well. And then get your funding and training in. Obviously, I don't know if we can get somebody started before the end of the year or not, Adam, but at least we can get started right
Yeah.
at the first.
Yeah, I think that would be tough. And January is filling up. So if you guys want to try to get your seats reserved, act fast.
Yeah.
So
All right, so give us a call here at 866-565-8413 or shoot us an email. One last question, Kevin says, thanks, gentlemen. Great webinar. I also own a chronic care management software and services for providers to completely and monthly do the complete monthly 20-minute for CCM codes. Brother, I know exactly what you're talking about, Kevin. So make sure you talk with your sales rep, because we actually have some remote patient monitoring things that we've got going on over here ready, but we're always in the market probably to pull another support guy in here for that. So check with, contact us here. Adam, again, what a great year 2024 was, and it's been good for ABS, and I know you're growing it. You're doing a great job, Adam, and we're looking forward to what 2025 brings us.
yes, sir.
All righty, folks. Y'all have a great end of the year.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. Bye bye, everybody.
See ya.